tell us about now how you get arrested, you get sent to prison. What was your prison experience like? What was your first day in prison like? Talk to us about that.
So, have you guys heard of Sheriff Joe Arpaio?
No.
Famous America's toughest sheriff in Arizona. Black and white striped outfits, pink underwear, tent city. So I ended up, my first year was in Towers Jail, which was run by him. I'm unsentenced. I'm fighting my case for 26 months. So first day you go in a processing center called the Horseshoe. It's like this subterranean horseshoe-shaped cells, sequence of cells. And as soon as you go in, they take your belt off you, your shoelaces, go to a plexiglass window, there's a little old lady screaming at you. Have you got HIV? Have you got lice? Have you got hepatitis C? And asking you all these questions. And then you go in the cells and it's like 30, 40 people just sardined in these cells. Gangbangers, rival street gangs. When they see each other, it's on site, fights breaking out, blood on the walls. If it kicks off too bad, the guards come in, they just drag someone out and put them in this, looks like a medieval torture device called a restraint chair. It's like this black chair tilted back. They'll put a spit hood on your head and you see people in these restraint chairs just rocking and cackling. It's like an absolute madhouse. And I go through the sequence of cells. That's where I found out my charges. The biggest ones were like conspiracy, continuous criminal enterprise. It was like the equivalent of RICO. They put all the organized crime charges on us. And when I saw my bail was $750,000 cash only, I was like, oh man, you're in some shit here. So it was a day or so, we went through the Horseshoe, and then I got classified to Towers Jail. And Towers Jail, they separated me from Wildman. I was in Tower 6. And right away, the skinheads, the AB, Aryan Brotherhood, come up to you. They're like, hey, Wood, get in that cell over there. And you can't say no to them or they're just going to smash your head into the wall. So I walk into the cell. They come in behind me. And then they're like, get in my face. It's like, what are your charges? What are your charges?
Yeah, because I heard they ask you that just so that they know kind of what your background is in case if you ever did anything to kids or anything like that, they'd, give you what was coming for you, right? They ask you for your papers or whatnot.
Yeah, they're doing a charge check, but I don't know that. So I've read my charges. I don't understand all this legal terminology at this point. So I say to them, I don't know what my charges mean. And this is the worst answer in the world. Now they got me against the wall about to attack me. What do you mean you don't know what your charges mean? Are you a chomo? Are you a chomo? I don't even know what chomo is at this point. So some charges were KOS, kill on sight, pedophiles. Other charges, SOS, smash on sight, drive-by shootings, because women and kids sometimes get hit. In the end, I pulled out my charge sheet. They saw I was in for drugs. Nearly everyone's in prison, it's drugs. So that's acceptable. But then they explain all the rules you must follow, or else the whole gang will attack you. So they say to you, if someone calls you a punk, a bitch, or hits you, you must fight them on the spot, or else the whole gang will attack you. Must take showers, or they'll smash you for bad hygiene. Can't go making friends with the guards, they'll smash you for snitching. Can't sit at the table with the races, they'll smash you for that. Everything you take for granted about your safety is reversed because they're constantly looking for people to beat up because that's how they earn their reputations and tattoos. It's called putting work in to earn your political ink. And the more serious the act of violence, higher up in the gang are the tats that they earn. Under every head of the gang are guys called torpedoes. They'll go in, attack someone, no questions asked, just so they can get their tats. Now, a guy came in early on who was a suspected chomo. Don't know if the guards had confirmed it or what, but they smashed him in the shower and left him whimpering in a pool of blood. And then this big guy's like, why can we still hear him whimpering? Like, oh, we smashed him, good dog. And he's like, not good enough. So he goes in, and it's like he's trying to crack this guy's head open like it's a coconut, just crack, crack, crack. In the end, he's unconscious or dead, and The guard comes and does a security walk, lockdown, everybody locked down. So we all go back to our cells. And then I'm looking out the window and they're carrying this guy on a stretcher. And there's not just blood coming out of his head, there's like yellow stuff coming out of his head.
It's crazy.
This wasn't the Supermax prison because you ended up.
No, I wasn't into. I'm in medium security my first year. Then I'm in maximum security for my second year and a bit. Then I'm in Supermax for a few months. Then I'm sentenced over to prison medium, and then I end up in minimum, and then I end up in deportation.
And in the Supermax, you were telling a story about. I found this was crazy. Weaponized crap. How else to say that? Weaponized people would in Supermax prisons weaponize their own crap.
Yeah, so the shit slingers in Supermax. I knew a guy who worked up on the cleanup crew for the shit slingers, so he told me a lot of stories. But basically, if you can't get out your cell, you can't settle your disputes how disputes are normally settled. So they weaponize crap. A basic would be chicken bone, crap on it, and then you make a blowpipe and you get someone who goes past your cell. But they had a guy who was like the Rambo of the shit slinger world. Call him Magnum. And he rigged up his whole cell like shit and piss bottles that would be standing there for days, so they would get mold growing on them, and a lot of people got hepatitis C. And he'd make like the guy described it as a dookie Uzi with a shampoo bottle and tubes and shit, and it would really spray a long distance. So the guards were sick of this guy. So they went in, stripped his cell out, got him completely naked, put him in a strip cell, in handcuffs, naked, where there's nothing in there at all. And every so often they came and did a security walk and observed him. But they'd underestimated his resolve. So what he did was he shat on the floor, turned over, mouthed the shit.
No.
Stood at the hatch where the guard comes to observe with this shit in his mouth just percolating. The guard came and he blasted it in his face.
No.
And the guard was so surprised and shocked, he raised his mask up like that. So the shit went up the guy's nose. Yeah.
That's crazy.
That's cringy.